for relationships. Our Thank God It's Friday. Real talk with Dr. Chucks and Pastor Toyin Ugoihe. Every Friday evening, your ultimate destination for
Take this
relationship
mic.
wisdom and fun. Explore the intricacies of relationships, uncover solutions to common challenges, and build
Yeah.
stronger relationships with practical strategies.
You need to adjust
Our
this
radio
camera.
program, Wisdom for Relationships. Tune in to Wisdom for Relationships on Rainbow FM, Wednesday mornings at 7:30 a.m. for insights and wisdom to build and maintain healthy relationships. Our Single Ladies Relationship Bootcamp. Attend our weekend program
Huh?
designed for single ladies to explore and learn principles governing relationships, biblical standards, and answers to key questions. Gain a change in perspective, direction, and hope for the future. Alpha Wives seminars. Whether newly married or seasoned, learn strategies for improving communication, navigating intimacy, and building trust, and more. Our marriage preparation and intervention program. Take advantage of our comprehensive program offering premarital counseling classes, marriage intervention sessions, and marriage enrichment classes to support you at various stages of your relationship. Our Purpose Discovery program. Discover your life's purpose through our Purpose Discovery programs, answering key questions and understanding how your gifts, talents, skills, and passions intersect to define your purpose. Visit our website, idelight.co.za or WhatsApp +27 642 001 545 for more information on our various programs. Empower yourself, enrich your relationships, and discover your purpose. Join us on this journey to make life a delight.
there's somebody you're going to help their lives, help their destiny, help their marriage, whether they're single, whether they're married, whether they are in a complicated situation. What we are about to learn tonight is going to be of immense blessing to them. So go ahead, send that link, copy. The link is right there on the comment section. So copy it and paste it on your WhatsApp. Invite somebody. Just talk to somebody right now and tell them to join this Zoom link. Okay. All right. I'm going to, all right, if we're doing that, that's good. That's good. Are we good? All right. Let me give it a few more seconds for you to send that link out. Okay. Right. Okay, we're gonna proceed with our specific learning for tonight. Can you play me the video? Now, before we get into that video, I want to preface the video we're going to watch. There's a video that I'm going to play for us. I want you to watch this video very carefully and very open-mindedly. And I want you to engage your analytical mind. As you watch this video, we are going to engage in our session tonight from this video. All right, let's go.
Hey, look, I want to shut up! Chief Amigo, it has gotten to the extent that you're not bringing a woman to our house. Are you? Who are you and what the hell are you doing in my house?
You slap?
I am talking to you!
Oh my God.
Yes. You slapped me and I will slap you double if you don't start talking now.
What is wrong with you?
It is you something is wrong with. How dare you? Don't tell me!
I mean, calm down. Let me explain to you. See, she just came here to do...
Don't tell me to calm down! Came here to do what exactly?
She came to give me...
Give you what? I don't give you what? What did she come here to give you? Tell me the rubbish this is what came here to give you. Huh?
Oh my God.
If you don't get out of this house, I swear to God, I will panel beating her. Get out!
Chief Omego, sir. Is this your wife?
No! This is his mad dog. Now get out!
Oh my God.
What's all this madness all about? Are you not even remorseful? I caught you red-handed cheating on me, your wife. You're not even remorseful. You're still here looking at me, allowing her to stay in this house. Let her get out! And you're running mad. I said you should get out of my house. Leave this place!
This is heartbreaking. Disappointing.
Chipomego, I am talking to you. Your wife is talking to you. Talk to me. What is it? Eh? Get out. Get out! Get out of my house. Leave my house. Get out. Take your bag. Leave my house. Leave. Get out.
Madam, can you calm down? What kind of woman are you? Can't you calm down?
You have no right to tell me to calm down. You're my husband's side chick.
I am your husband's side chick. From where? You don't even know me. You're blabbing. You're ranting.
I don't need to know you, wicked man be like you. Tell me a sensible lady that comes into a married woman's house to come and be hugging and kissing her husband.
You just spoiled things for your husband.
I did not spoil anything. Get out.
Your blood is too hot. Can you listen to your husband first?
He has nothing to say. You are nothing but his side chick. Get out. Leave my house.
Madam, calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. You are nothing but a cheap slut. That is what you are. Leave my house.
Please. Is there any solution to this? Chief Omego-san, I am sorry. There is no remedy, no solution. You know how long it took you and I to get this from the presidency? It was very, very hard. For years, you could not get this. It just came out yesterday and they sent me to bring it to you today. Something you've been looking for the past 5 years. I'm sorry for you, sir. I am so sorry. I am very, very sorry. It is heartbreaking. I feel so sad. Man? Madam,
Presidency. What is that?
Is this how you treat your husband?
What is happening? I'm lost.
You're asking, oh my God.
I am finished.
Hey.
Someone should talk to me. What is it? What is happening?
This document you talk, your husband has been looking for this for the past 5 years. It is a contract, a business contract that would have made him a billionaire. You just store it without asking questions. Are you not an enemy of progress?
Wait. Babe, don't tell me this is the contract you told me about.
Are you happy now?
Hey. Hey, God. God, I'm finished.
Oh my God.
Hey, God, please. Please, there should be a remedy to this.
Never! There is no remedy. There is no
Are
solution.
You happy now?
I'm finished.
Are you happy?
Baby, please.
Something that took me 5 good years to gain. 5. All of my effort. This is how you've tarnished it. Please don't touch me. If you touch me again, I will do the unimaginable.
Anyway, Chief Omego, sir, I think I will be on my way right now. I should not interfere in your marriage, okay? But I don't know how you would cope, but I am sorry. I'm very, very sorry, sir.
I need to see my doctor. My chest is paining me.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. You should have told me that she was sent to come and deliver this thing. I thought she was your side chick. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know I had trust issues. I'm always insecure. Please, I'm sorry. Please.
$3 billion contract from the president himself.
I'm sorry.
Done because of your impatience, because of your lack of trust.
I'm sorry.
I've been faithful to you. You've not even used your eyes to see me with a woman before.
I am sorry.
It's all assumption. You only go through my phone and see things that are not true and you believe them. Why?
I'm sorry. Please.
If you didn't go to my phone, we would have still been good. But since after that day, you've just been something different. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please.
You are such a mean person.
I'm sorry.
You dragged me back to poverty.
I'm sorry.
I see that you are my karma. But not anymore. After now, whatever I've ever promised you, I am cutting it off. I don't want this marriage anymore. I don't want you in my life anymore. I don't want anything that belongs to you. I don't want to ever see you in my life. You are just misfortune in my life.
Please, I'm sorry.
Don't touch me again.
Baby, please.
Now stand up. Do you want me to show you the kind of person I am?
Please.
Open that door.
No, baby, please.
Open that door. Open that door before I get a bounce on you. Now get out.
Please,
And don't ever come back. Get out. Get out. Get out.
All right. What do you think? Bro Kelechi, welcome. Good to have you. Kensani, you wanna say something? Okay. What do you take away from that video? We're going to spend this evening learning a few things from the skit or the drama we see in that video. I want to know, first of all, let me have your comments. Yeah, everybody, if you watched it, Give me your thoughts. Type, 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 type. Tomb warriors, get your hands, get your fingers moving. What do you say? What do you take away from that video? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Are we on? You can also, make your comment, raise your hand. I can, nominate you to talk, and you can just put on your camera, your microphone and make your comment. Are we good? Okay, someone says the woman is insecure. The woman is insecure, all right? What else? What else? What else? Ask before jumping into conclusion. Okay? Ask before jumping into conclusion. All right? There is a communication breakdown in their relationship. All right? Anybody else? Okay. I want to hear from Pregoria, Hira, Kekeletso. She was thinking the worst of her spouse, okay? All right. Now, any more? Borderline insanity on the part of the lady. Borderline insanity on the part of the lady. Woman jumping into conclusion which shows insecurity. Okay. All right. I need us to participate because this is going to be a very vigorous conversation. Please, I permit you to put on your microphone and talk. All right. All you need to do is to raise your hand. We're in a Zoom meeting, so we can all talk. Your microphone on your device can convey your voice, and we can talk. All right. So all I need from you is just use the function to raise your hand, and we can talk. Moleboheng, welcome. Thank you for joining tonight. Right, Moleboheng, we watched the video. I'm not sure what we're going to do to communicate the message of the video to you. I'm not sure. Are you connected on WhatsApp with her? Maybe you can send her the video via WhatsApp so she can follow the conversation. All right. Now let's dive in. Let's go back to the first scene. Okay, someone said something. Both need to harness their emotions and be more rooted in the love of God and be God dependent. Okay, right. Now let's ask this question: are there other possible outcomes? Excuse me. So let's go to the first scenario in this skit. A woman walks into her house and finds her husband in an embrace or a hug with another woman in their living room. Let's pause right there. What are other possible outcomes? Ranging from the ideal outcome to the most catastrophic outcome. What are the possible scenarios that can emerge from that situation? I need us to engage our analytical minds. I told us at the beginning So what are the possible scenarios that could come out of seeing that scene as she walked into that room and seeing, what's going on? Can I get your responses? I need us to be part of the class tonight. You can't be quiet. Yes. What are the scenarios? You can type, you can raise your hand and speak through your microphone, whichever one is easier. I think speaking is easier. What are the scenarios we could have? Possible scenarios from the most ideal to the most catastrophic. What are the possible scenarios? All right, someone says she was valid to feel insecure in that instance. She could have walked out. Okay, well, that's an opinion. First of all, I want us to envisage possible scenarios. What could have happened? Because what we're seeing in the skit is one scenario, but there are other scenarios of things that could have happened. So somebody says probably it was a relative traveling from overseas or whatever. Okay. Now let's look at the scenarios. Scenario one, the best case, the best outcome. That's the first scenario. She walks in, she's surprised, she sees her husband hugging another woman who she doesn't know, and she says, hello, good evening. Oh, I wasn't expecting a visitor. What's going on? That's one scenario. And her husband smiles and introduces the lady and say, this is Mrs. So-so-and-so from the presidency. She came to deliver the contract, the one that I've told you about. We finally got the contract. We got the job. We got it. And that would have been a very momentous occasion. They will rejoice. They will take a picture with the woman. Everybody will be happy. They see her off, and the party begins. They celebrate what God has done for the family. That's the best outcome. She walks in, she calmly tries to understand who is in our house, what is the mission of the lady here, and she's not rude, she is not shouting, she is calm. That's the best outcome. Right, let's look at another scenario. All right, someone says, Kekeletso says, the lady can give the husband the benefit of doubt and ask to speak to him in private if she feels insecure and needs explanation. Right. There was another comment on top there. Let me see. It says, if the wife didn't know about the visit, the wife can jump straight into conclusions and assume the husband is cheating on her. Okay. All right. That's I've given us one scenario. Someone just joined us. She raises her voice. What is going on here? Who is this woman? And before lashing out physically, she listens to the explanation. So when she walked in the door and she shouted, and her husband was trying to explain something, and she was patient to listen. Now that scenario, when she listens and hears, oh, we got the contract, how will this, end? Oh, she'll be embarrassed. Oh, I'm very sorry. She will apologize. They will, douse the situation. The tension will de-escalate. trust may have been shaken a little bit, but they will recover because now she realized, oh, this woman came from the presidency to deliver an official message. She can apologize to her for shouting, and everything will be resolved. Life goes on. That's scenario 2. Scenario 3 is, she walks in, she sees them, she assumes the worst. Someone actually said that, and then she walks out of the house. Maybe she will text or call her husband later and then finds out the truth. She will feel ashamed. She will apologize in tears. Now, the consequences of that will be that trust is broken from both sides. Both parties will be hurt. Marriage needs to be repaired. They may need to go through marriage therapy and things. They will need to talk this through things. The marriage needs heavy repair because injury has come through. The contract delivery has become bittersweet. Instead of a moment of total celebration, there's, the awkwardness around the woman's behavior and so on. But at least it wouldn't have been as bad. That's scenario number 3. Let's go to number 4. This is where, she slaps, she tears the document, she threatens the other woman. Outcomes, the husband is very embarrassed. The woman who came to bring the message, she feels assaulted. She can file a complaint of assault. The opportunity of the contract is lost permanently. Things go south in the marriage. Divorce proceedings will start or threats are made. The woman could be arrested for assault, destruction of property, and so on and so forth. In this scenario, the marriage suffers very deep wounds, perhaps irreparable wounds. All right. There's another scenario. She walks in, she sees them, and instead of reacting with violence, she collapses in tears, accuses him of cheating and infidelity. She reveals years of insecurity, bottled up emotions, and that's one scenario. She doesn't resort to violence, but she resorts to emotional meltdown, crying, all that kind of stuff, that drama. In that scenario, the contract is not lost. They would need counseling. They would need help in their marriage. When she finally realizes that there was no betrayal of any trust, there was no infidelity, the scenario there will need help for them to fix it. They need to talk things through. They need to get to the bottom of where this mistrust in the marriage is coming from. Right. I see another comment there. Let me see. All right. Someone is saying the husband could have been more assertive to calm her down. Well, how? I mean, she was already slapping him. She was already shouting at him. He actually tried to communicate. He actually tried to talk, but she wouldn't listen, and she just, snatched the file from the man and tore the file in pieces. Okay, someone says if the husband knows his wife has insecurities and has trust issues, he could manage it better and ask the good news bearer that they call the wife the woman of the house. Okay? Well, we're coming to that. I'm coming right to that point. Right. Another response could have been that the woman pretends to be okay, doesn't say a word, and then shuts down emotionally. Later, she stops talking, becomes distant, starts withdrawing from the marriage, and realized, when they explained to her that this was a contract that they brought, she realized that her reaction was a bit over the top. What about a scenario where the woman just sees what she sees, doesn't say a word, doesn't shout, she just walks out and then plots revenge? You are cheating on me, so me too, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And, it just goes south from there. Now, what do we take away from all these scenarios here? Somebody has said something about the husband, and I want us to focus on the husband. Question: is there anything the husband could have done 6 years before now that would have created a different kind of wife in his woman? Is there anything this man could have done 6 years ago that would have produced a different outcome today? This is what I want you to think about. Because it's easy to blame the woman and shout at her that she was impatient. Yes, she was. She was violent. Yes, she was. She's insecure. Yes, she was. But is there a way that this man could have curated his marriage and built this relationship that this woman will be different today in this scenario? In fact, I want us to look at 6 years, we look at 6 months, we look at 6 weeks, we look at 6 hours, and we can look at even 6 minutes before the scenario. So let me start with 6 minutes. When this woman who brought this news, I believe that she didn't just rock up in the house. She would have phoned this man the man picked up the phone and he says, "Where are you?" He says, "I'm at home. I'm in my house." And the woman says, "I am coming. I've got good news for you. I am coming." 6 minutes before now, the husband could have also taken his phone and called his wife to say, "I just got a call from the presidency and they say there is good news. I suspect that contract we've been working on has been approved. The woman is on her way to our house." The wife would have heard that and say, "I am coming." So can you see, 6 minutes before this scenario, communication, we're talking about the 5 desires of a woman, communication from the man could have saved this scenario. Just 6 minutes. All he needed to do would have, when he got the call, because wherever it is, to drive from the presidency to their house will take maybe, more than 6 minutes at least. He could have called his wife to say, I just got a call. This is what is going on. This scenario would have been prevented. Simple communication. So 6 minutes, simple communication. Let's go, 6 hours. Maybe they know or they didn't know that their file is being attended to. Maybe they don't know. But if their relationship had trust, there are people who pray together, there are people who communicate very often, I believe this woman would have acted differently. If, there's been, there are people who Their relationship is, built on a solid ground. They pray together, they communicate, they talk a lot. So a woman who is in a relationship where, like, these 5 desires are fulfilled, she wouldn't walk into that scenario and think the worst of her husband. There's something that the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13. It said, love believes the best. Love believes the best. So if this woman truly loves her husband, she would have believed the best. If this relationship, if this marriage had been a relationship where both parties were investing to cultivate true love, according to 1 Corinthians 13, many times people mistake this thing and think that 2 wrongs can make a right. No, that one person is wrong doesn't mean the other person should become wrong and do wrong things. No, we all have been commanded by God to work in agape love, as defined to us in 1 Corinthians 13. We work in agape love. So if the woman and her husband were both working in agape love, where they believe the best about each other, not to think of the worst. Can I drop this sidebar? Whenever you find yourself thinking about the worst about your spouse, you are not working in love. If you are thinking about the worst about your spouse, whether it's a man or a woman, this principle applies to both men and women. You think the worst about your spouse, you are not working in love. You are being carnal. Because working in love is how you walk in the Spirit. You walk in the Spirit, you walk in love. So if you are not thinking the best about your spouse, you are being carnal. And it's not a lesser sin than infidelity. Let me say that again. It's not a lesser sin. All sin is sin. If you're not walking in love, you are not right before God. We are called by God to walk in love. So believing the best about people is what it means to walk in love. And whatever is not done in faith is sin, the Bible tells us. So if you're not believing the best, you're not walking in faith. And you are walking in sin. So you and the person who went to commit infidelity are the same. Don't think, oh, my mistrust is a lesser evil than their infidelity. No, they are the same. They are the same. Before God, they are the same. All right. So let's go back. So we've done 6 minutes. We've done 6 hours. 6 hours, like earlier in the day, they spent time in prayer. They were, the relationship is healthy. They both left home, or when they parted ways, there was good vibe between the two of them. It's most unlikely that she will come in and explode in the manner that she's exploded. So let's go back 6 days before now. 6 days before now. It's same principle. They are working towards a common goal. Possibly there were developments around this contract, and this man kept on communicating to his wife, kept on reassuring her that this job will come through. Both of them are sensitive to the Spirit. They are hearing the reassurances of God to keep their eyes on Jesus and not look at the storm. The tide will soon be over. Life will be better for us. Things will turn around. If they were both encouraging each other to keep their eyes on the ball and keep their eyes, when I'm talking about the ball, I'm talking about Jesus. Keep their eyes and their faith on Jesus. It's most unlikely that this woman will come into that scenario and explode the way she exploded. She would have, resorted to one of the scenarios that we described earlier on, where she's calm, she listens for an explanation, she listens to hear. if they've been doing things right in their marriage. Right. So let's go 6 weeks before, 6 months before, 6 years before. If this man understood that his wife has insecurity issues, that his wife has trust issues, he would have been more proactive to deal with the trust issues, to help her heal, to pray for her, to even her herself. Oh, okay, you have trust issues. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Trust issue is like a wound. You have trust issues in a marriage. Like I've often taught at Thank God It's Friday. Trust is the most important currency of a relationship. So if we don't have it, we should be making an effort to rebuild it. So don't go around and say, I have trust issues, I have insecurity issues, and be proud of insecurity issues. The question I'm asking, see, not having trust in a relationship is like not having proper clothing on the relationship. It's like walking around naked. Is there, except people who are mad? Nobody is comfortable, who is in their right senses, leaving their house naked and walking on the street naked. Whenever you see somebody doing that, the person, something is not right in their head. Something is not right. And in the same way, if you are having trust issues, you are not okay. So you should be attending to it. You should be trying to get rid of it. Many people have trust issues in their relationships and they ignore it. If this man knew that his wife has trust issues, he shouldn't ignore it. This is what I'm trying to bring across. It should have been his preoccupation to try to help her. Let's talk about it. Let's, what can we do? The woman should not, pride herself. I have trust issues. I have trust issues. I have trust issues. What are you doing about the trust issues? How are you trying to get healing? And can I address this deeper? Let's go deeper. The Bible teaches us that the just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. The principle here is, even for your marriage to work, it's by faith. The Bible says love believes all things. So walking around in mistrust is not walking in faith. You're not walking in faith. And if you're not walking in faith, what does the Bible teach us? The just shall live by faith, meaning the just shall die. You are on the fringe of death, walking around with trust issues. In other words, we can't be comfortable with an anomaly. We are believers. So your part is to get rid of the trust issues. You have to trust God to heal you. You have to trust God that your spouse is doing what is right. You have to. You really have to. Because at the end of the day, listen, you cannot change anybody. You can't. The only person you can change is yourself. So you commit them into the hands of God and trust God to heal them and trust God to help them and have peace. This woman in this skit we watched, she obviously doesn't have peace. The insecurities will be making her misbehave, malfunction, do things that are wrong because she carries insecurity deep inside of her. Our security comes from Jesus. And if she's a Christian and learns to look to Jesus, she will trust God. And God will sort the man out. Whoever built anything with insecurity and mistrust? No, you don't build anything there. If you don't trust the next person, you struggle to, hold a viable relationship with them. The same thing with trusting God. It's the same thing. Can you trust God to look after your spouse? Can you trust God to keep them working in the standards of God's word? I was listening to a preacher just last weekend, and he says, I've come to the place where I have committed everybody who I love in my life into the hands of God. So if they don't come home, I don't worry myself. I go to sleep. I just trust that God will take care of them, and I go to sleep. I'm not going to be awake and worrying and stressing. No. I trust God, and my trust in God, I will go to sleep. And I found that quite intriguing, because if you think about it, what can you do? Worrying, how is worry helping you? If you love something, you put it in the hands of God. And if you put something in the hands of God, you trust God to look after it. In fact, the best thing you can do to anything that you love is to commit it to the hands of God, because God's hand is the safest place they can be. So the problem is that we actually don't trust God to look after what we think is important to us. That's why we worry. That's why we stress. We are not trusting God, because if you trust God, you will rest. God is looking after this person. God is taking care of this person, and I will be okay. But when we don't trust God, it will manifest in all these other things, and we think, our spouse is the problem. No, you have the problem. You have the problem. You are not trusting God. Because if you trust God, you have peace. You will rest. So if we really address what the situation is our lack of trust in God. If you love something, give it to the one who is able to take care of it, and let him take care of it. Don't worry. Don't wrap the people you love with worry and anxiety. No. If you love someone, commit them into the hands of God and trust God to look after them. And if the Holy Spirit tells you something about them, then you act on what the Holy Spirit tells you about them. Or for them, pray for them, give them instructions, whatever the Holy Spirit tells you. But you trust God. You don't live in worry. You don't live in anxiety. You don't wrap people up with your fears. No, trust God. All right. Okay, someone says, I don't think he was open enough in his business dealings. It seems like him and the good news bearer have been working on this for 5 years, yet the wife doesn't know her. Exactly. The wife knows about the deal, but the wife doesn't know about this woman. Again, highlighting something that is wrong in their relationship. Communication is poor. The man is not communicating properly. Because if the man was communicating, he has been working with this woman on this project for this long, how come his wife doesn't know about this woman? So something is not right, even in the way that they are, communicating to each other. Because if it was, open communication, this woman would have come up 5 years ago. He probably would have, introduced her. If they worked so closely on this project, this woman would have, even if they didn't meet personally, he would have spoken to her on the phone. She would have, this woman wouldn't have been a stranger, complete stranger to the wife. So there's something that this man did not do. We can blame the woman for being violent, for being impatient, but there are things this man was not doing in the relationship. Right. Let me pause to hear your thoughts. Any thoughts more to contribute to the conversation? Okay. I believe that am I getting any? Okay. All right. I believe that a lot of things that we've been learning, if this couple were practicing it, this scenario would not have occurred. this scenario will not have occurred. This woman sounds like someone who is starved of affection, someone who has deep wounds, someone who has baggages, and these baggages have not healed, and the husband have not, done his little contribution to heal, to build a healthy relationship. He has not met the needs, the desires that we talked about, the 5 of them, for his wife. So, what are we going to take away from this story? Please mute Sister Rose. Okay. All right. I want to look at this woman, and then we take on questions. If you do have questions, you're welcome to post them on the comment section, and then we can take the questions. We're going to go on a break, come back, take questions, and we're done. All right. Someone says, thank you, Dr. Chucks, for reminding us that trusting God should be superior and number one in our hearts and minds, and that is the solution for everything, including walking in love and sound mind. God bless you. Trusting God. All right. I want to ask, what could this woman have done differently? What could she have done differently? Right. I need your comments. What could she have done differently? If you were in that situation and you are the wife who walked in, how would you have reacted? What would you have done differently? Okay, let me ask. How many of us would have done what that woman did? Yeah, confess. If you would have done exactly what that woman did, say so. All the sisters. Someone says she could have trusted God more. Okay. Anybody who would have done what that woman did? Okay, someone says, I would have walked out. Someone says, I will seek to understand or sought to understand who that woman is and what is the purpose of the meeting. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm waiting. What could the woman have done differently? Several things. She walked in, she saw her husband hugging somebody. She could pause. In fact, she would have composed herself, waited for the visitor to leave before confronting the husband. Okay? The husband actually wanted to explain to her what the visit was about, but she was impatient. She just flew into anger and slapped the man. Let's talk about that. What's right or wrong with that? Flipping and then resorting to physical violence. What makes people behave like that? Let me say this. There is no justification to land somebody a slap, punch somebody. There is no justification. Even if you think that they are wrong, slapping, hitting them, what I imagine that this scenario that resulted here and the woman lifted her hands and slapped her husband, this is not the first time she's doing it. All right, someone says the man mentioned that she looked over his cell phone, so she has always been insecure. Yes, her insecurity has been there because she keeps searching his phone. Why are you doing that? And the question is, what did the man do to help her insecurity? If you keep searching the phone, then there is need for, help with insecurity. We need to talk about it. We need to find a help solution, go for therapy, go for counseling, pray about it. It's not to be ignored. Okay. So, number one, the best response would have been to be calm, assess the situation, watch body language, and if she had just allowed a few seconds, the man would have explained, like we saw in the skit. The man was actually trying to explain, and share the good news about the contract. But she was impatient. She lacks self-control. Okay, someone says, I'm hurting so much about this topic of today. That's exactly myself and my partner going through. I wish I was also attending this meeting too. I wish he was also attending this meeting too. Insecurities, issues, and mistrust, it hurts to be accused for things that are not true. I totally agree with you, and I'm sorry for the pain. It hurts to be accused of things you didn't do because of insecurities. So wherever there are insecurities, we need to deal with it. It's fundamental. It's fundamental as having food to eat. It's fundamental as having clothes to cover our naked. It's that fundamental. We can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. The problem is that in many relationships, in many marriages, there are insecurities, and then we just ignore it. And we keep going. We keep going. And this is both ways, both for the man and the woman. People are insecure, and the other party maybe notice it and just ignore it and going. You can't ignore a disease that is fundamental to the configuration and the wiring of the woman. You can't ignore it. You should pray. You should, discuss it. Try to help her if she is willing to be helped. And if she's not, open to it, because sometimes the problem with insecure people is that they are so insecure, they're not even willing for the insecurity to be addressed. It's like when we were kids, you're hurting, you injure yourself, and, when you're expected to show the injury so they can treat it. But treating the injury is more painful. So you hide the injury. And we used to do that as children. You hide the injury. The problem with hiding the injury is that it gets infected. It develops pus. It gets terrible. It becomes bad because you hid the injury. And why do you hide the injury? You're afraid they're going to shout at you. How did you injure yourself? You're afraid of the pain of the treatment, because sometimes the treatment is painful. They pour in iodine, they pour in methylated spirit or something, betadine ointment. It bites, it stings. So because of that pain, you hide the injury. And so that's the thing about insecurity. We can't ignore insecurity. Somebody says here, she was disrespectful. Even a child, you don't talk to them the way she was talking to her husband. She lacks emotional intelligence. The Bible says if you can't control your emotions, you are like a city without walls. You are correct, my sister. There's been a lot of lack of self-control in this relationship. Because in fact, not just lack of self-control, there's a lot of disrespect in the relationship. How do you just lift up your hands and just land a slap on your husband in public? If she can do that, and then, the man tried to talk, she shouted down at him. So there's been a lot of things that are not right in this relationship. They've been building on wrong platform, wrong foundation. Disrespect. This heavy disrespect in this marriage. Heavy disrespect. Forget about the contract that came through. There is very terrible respect levels in this marriage. Because, I mean, if she respects the man, at least she would not embarrass him in public to hit him in public. And then she slaps the man, she slaps the visitor. What kind of woman is that? I want to encourage us. We had teachings on respect in relationships. I can't remember which month, but we have dealt with that topic. And if you go through our YouTube channel, you will find those teachings and you can listen to them. It will help you. There's been a lot of disrespect in this marriage. So what we are seeing today in the skit is something that's been building. The rottenness has been on for a while. What is the lesson for me and you? Don't ignore dysfunctional things. At least start praying about them. Start seeking for help. Don't just ignore them. Seek for help, pray about them, try to talk about them, try to, engage the help of the Spirit of God to, help this spouse of yours. Do not just ignore dysfunction. All right. I want to, move forward. Instead of, resorting to violence, you could ask for clarification. Who is this woman? What's going on? You can ask for clarification and be patient to hear. Sometimes the problem is that we're not patient to hear. No control, no self-control. Number 3 is to manage emotional triggers. This woman has unhealed emotional wounds. Some things that have happened before, some things that probably she even brought into the marriage. She has unhealed emotional wounds from past betrayals, maybe past abandonments, low self-esteem, low self-worth. That's what is bringing all this. Insecurity actually comes from low self-worth. When you don't know who you are and you don't know your self-worth, one of the ways it manifests is insecurity. So, emotional maturity requires you to be able to manage your triggers and be able to control yourself, be patient, to listen. Don't be quick to start crying and shedding tears and creating drama. Number 4, in healthy marriages, please hear this. In healthy marriages, the default posture is trust. The default posture is trust. You don't think the worst, you think the best. That's a healthy marriage. You don't think the worst, you think the best. That's what love is. So ask yourself, what do you think about your spouse? That can actually give us an indication of how healthy your marriage is. If you are in a marriage where you are thinking the best about each other, that's the highest level of health in a relationship, the best about each other. If this woman thought the best about her husband, she would not jump into that conclusion she jumped into. She would have, that trust would have said, oh, okay, this, something is going on here. This, I don't know what it is, but, I like to know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Somebody says here, I wonder what the man would have done if it was him walking into his house and seeing his wife hugging another man. Well, the same principles that we are sharing applies to both. He should be calm to find out who the man is and not jump into conclusions and not think the worst. Think the best. In fact, do you know that if we all learn to think the best about our spouses, a lot of the arguments, a lot of the fightings that we have in our relationship will not occur if you think about the best. If you think the best. If you think the best, you will extend grace. If you think the best of somebody, you will extend grace to them. If you think the worst of them, you will constantly, suspect them, nag them, shove them around. If you think the best about them, you will extend grace. Think about it. So if you're not thinking the best about them, then the amount of grace you extend will be very small. Meaning that if you're not extending grace, that means you're not extending forgiveness, you're not extending kindness, you're not extending courtesy, you're not extending respect, because these things are measures of grace. These things are dispensations of grace. To be gracious towards somebody, respect will flow, care will flow, kindness will flow, courtesies will flow. So, but when you don't believe the best about the other person, these things are in short supply. So if you're constantly irritated at your spouse, please understand what is going on. You're not thinking about them in the best of light. No, you're not thinking about them. You're not thinking the best about them. That's why you are constantly irritated. But if you can control yourself to question your emotional state, question your trigger. Why am I angry? Question it. Why am I angry? If I think the best about my spouse, I will extend grace to them. I will extend kindness to them. I will extend love to them. I will extend patience to them. I will extend courtesy, respect to them. So if you find yourself not extending that, please understand what it is. You have switched into a mode that does not define 1 Corinthians 13. And you need to repent. Okay, let's give the last one, and then we're going to take a break, and we come back, we do a few questions, and then we are done for tonight. Choose private conversation over public showdown. Don't be in a hurry to shout in public, to display, to bring down drama in public. Some people are so shameless. They can start shouting. They can start, bringing down so much drama. Don't do that. Don't do that. Whether with your spouse or with anybody, control your emotions, especially in public. There is no benefit in, public, display of raw emotion. Control yourself. Nobody will ever clap for you. I remember a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, at a Grammy Award, a comedian was cracking jokes, and Will Smith, his wife was picked on, and he cracked a joke on his wife, and Will Smith lost it. It was like a drama, but it was real. He went up and slapped, what's the comedian, the guy that he slapped? Chris Rock. He walked up to him on stage and slapped him. And that scenario cost him a lot. Before the whole world was watching, Will Smith regretted that action. He regretted it. He had to make a public apology and so on and so forth. I think Chris Rock chose not to pursue legal recourse. But nobody clapped for him. In other words, no matter how justified he felt, that slap, in fact, I listened to a lot of analysis around it. People will say, oh, he came to defend his wife. No! What actually happened there in public was a reflection of the rottenness in their relationship. And he acted that way. So what's my point? Private conversation will always trump public drama and showdown. Don't lose your temper in public where you start doing stupid, violent things. All right. And can I end this by saying, if you don't know how to do it in private, you will not be able to do it in public. If you don't know how to do it in private, you will not be able to do it in public. So if you do it in private, you will do it in public. So if you can't control yourself in private, you will not be able to control yourself in public. So whatever it is that you can't do in private, you can't do it in public. Both positive and negative things. All right. I'm going to stop there. Can we take a break? If you do have questions, this is your opportunity to post them. And if you do have any, even prayer request, and you something you want us to pray with, I would like to pray before we go. All right? Like the person who posted, I am hurting so much about this topic of today, exactly what we're going through. I would like to pray for you. If you don't mind to reach us privately so that we can, pray for you specifically and see how we can help your hurting heart. I'm sorry for all the pain. All right. All right. We're going to take a quick break. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Before we go on break, I want to give everyone an opportunity to sow into this ministry, these things that we do every Friday. If you've been blessed and you are receiving any kind of value from this, please consider to give and to sow to support the work we do. We are on radio. We want to get more on more radio stations to help more families and more relationships. And we need your support to be able to do that. So consider, partnering with us to assist us to help more people to take this message and help heal a lot more marriages. If you've been blessed, please extend the blessing to other people. So the banking details will be on the screen shortly. As we go on break, take a screenshot of the banking details when it comes up on the screen and consider to give to support the ministry. All right, let's take a break. I need to drink some water. We're going to be back in 5 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are back with me and you are there, please say something on the chat function. Please respond.